Hi, my name is Jessica Lamb. I'll be interpreting this video.
Student tape number 1. This specific tape focuses on a legal vignette which occurs during a client-attorney interview. A deaf woman is seeking legal advice regarding the possibility of a civil lawsuit related to permanent injuries she sustained as the result of an auto accident. The goal of the attorney in this vignette is to understand the details of the accident and the nature of the client's injuries, so he can best advise her regarding her legal options. The format is a question and answer interview. The speakers will now provide you with their introductory comments.
Hi, my name is Martha Woodridge. I came to see an attorney today for some advice. First of all, my background. I grew up in a principally deaf family. I'm a fluent ASL user. Do you understand me clearly, and are you able to interpret? Okay. Allow me to explain briefly about myself. I grew up deaf. I've lived in Charlotte for 17 years. My husband of 15 years, Richard, and I have 2 children, a beautiful 15-year-old girl, and a 13-year-old boy. I went to Gallaudet University, but I didn't feel any majors that matched my preferences, so I left early, came here, and attended a workshop for Harker Cosmetology School. I graduated from there. This matched my family business, which is a hair shop. I worked for them until I could finally get on my own, stepped out from under them and set up my own salon, Hair Plus. I trained and managed 3 staff. My sister, Kathy, also helped doing secretarial work for me. We were chugging right along up until August of last year when the accident happened. I severely injured my right shoulder, arm, hip, making it difficult for me to lift my arm, which halted my ability to work in the salon and even sign with my right hand because of the limited movement and the pain. Since then, I've had to go to therapy regularly. Because of all this, I've decided to come and see an attorney.
My name is Calvin Murphy. I am a lawyer in Charlotte. I have been in the private practice of law for about 12 years and practiced as a lawyer, including as an assistant district attorney since 1977. I practice civil and criminal law, principally trial work. I am going to be interviewing a client this morning who has been involved in an automobile accident. In the course of the accident, Martha Woodridge, who is the client, is a 37-year-old cosmetologist. She injured herself, broke her hip, her shoulder, her arm, and injured her back at the time. What follows will be the initial interview between myself and Ms. Woodridge. Good morning, Ms. Woodridge. I understand you've been involved in an automobile accident and you've sustained some injuries. You need to talk to me about what to do in regards to the accident that you had? Good.
Yes, that's right. This is a little awkward for me. I'm suing the responsible parties for the accident.
What I want to do is to get some background information from you first. We then will talk about how the accident happened, what injuries you sustained, what medical attention you've received, and what impact all of this has had on your life. I'll also want to get a little personal history from you about your family situation and your work situation, okay? What I normally do is to complete an interview form. It helps me to remember the things that we've discussed. And after we finish our discussion, I will then give you some advice about what you should do from this point forward.
Okay.
To begin with, let me get some background information from you. Would you give me your full name, please?
My full name is Martha Woodridge.
All right. And where do you live?
327 Harkin Lane, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28216.
How long have you lived at your present address?
I've lived there almost 15 years.
And do you work outside of your home?
Yes, not now, before I did, but not
And
now.
what date was the accident? Do you recall when it happened?
August 3rd, 1992 of last year.
About a year or more ago, last year. And did you work outside of your home at that time?
Yes, I
And,
own my own business.
Oh, good. What kind of work did you do?
Hair salon. It's called Hair Plus.
Okay. And how long have you had your own business?
I've owned my business for 2 years.
And before that, did you work for someone else, or were you employed on your own?
Interpreter, by that, do you mean before the 2 years?
Okay.
Before that, I worked for my family's salon, hair designer.
Give me your marital status, please.
I'm married. My husband's name is Richard.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 17 years.
Do you have children?
2.
And what are their ages?
The girl is 15 and the boy is 13.
And what is your age, please?
Now I'm 37.
Now, since this accident, have you lost time from your employment? Have you been able to practice your profession?
No, I haven't been working. I was hospitalized for 4 months.
Okay. And you've not been able to perform any of your usual and customary duties as a cosmetologist since the accident?
Not yet. Since the August 3rd accident, I've not been able to work. I actually sold my business last May.
Okay. Now, what kind of vehicle were you in at the time of the accident?
My car is a 1991 Subaru.
Were you the driver of the car, or was someone else driving?
No, my husband was driving. I was the passenger.
Other than you and your husband, were there any other people in the car?
No, my 2 children were staying with my parents in Gastonia. My husband and I were on vacation. Coming back from Connecticut. On our way back, the accident happened.
Okay. Where did the accident take place?
On I-85. Do you know where that is?
Yes, here in Charlotte.
Yeah, we were almost home, approaching the Sugar Creek exit. We were pulling off. My husband was exiting off on the ramp,
I know
and
where that is.
a truck mistakenly did not see us, took the same exit that we did, and impacted us from the left side, pushing us against the concrete wall. I braced myself and put my head down as we were smashed between the truck and the wall. The truck passed us and we stopped, and then the police arrived, and ambulance workers came, brought us to the hospital. It was truly a horrific experience.
Do you recall if you were wearing your seatbelt at the time?
Yes, I always prefer to wear my seatbelt.
Do you remember what the weather was like? Was it clear? Was it rainy?
Clear. It was a nice day. Ugh. No, I can't. My right shoulder was pressed up against the car, and I was completely jammed in. Help came, but I couldn't get out of the driver's side. I couldn't move at all. I thought I broken my arm and my forearm. It hurt so badly. I just waited in the car until the fire department or EMS came and pried open the door, helped me get out of the car, and laid me down.
Had you ever been involved in an automobile accident before?
Minor dings that weren't this bad. Nothing as serious as this accident.
And were you ever injured during the course of such accidents and required medical attention or made an insurance claim, anything like that?
No, never. This is the first time.
And you never had any problems with your arm or your shoulder or your back or anything like that before this accident, correct?
No. No, never. I've been able to do a lot, running, exercising, the whole gamut, and now I can't do any of that.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit, if you will, about what kind of activities you engaged in since the accident. What have you been able to do? What sorts of things have you not been able to do because of it?
I can't do the normal activities I was doing at work. I can't style hair anymore because of the limited movement of my arm and the pain that I get. I'm completely unable to work at this point. As far as signing, I was involved in deaf clubs and events, activities, and nights out, but now I can only sign left-handed. That's pretty frustrating. Being able to cite right-handed was what I did before, and now the injuries and pain limit that. The tasks I can do are pretty simple. I can talk on the phone, text, relay. I can't stand for long periods of time. I can cook and stir with my left hand. For the first 4 months, I actually couldn't sit at all. I couldn't stand at all. After that, I could sit and stand, and now it's just an ongoing recovery process because of the ruptured disc and the broken hip. I couldn't walk and exercise, drive my kids to school. So much I used to do between my husband and I at home. Now he does all that for me. He's pretty much taken over all the responsibilities that we used to split in the past.
I was going to talk to you a little bit about that. Was your husband also injured during the accident?
Yes. He broke his left hand and forearm. It was casted for a month. It healed completely, and now he's back to work and doing his normal thing.
Okay. Have you required any special household assistance or incurred any expenses because you weren't able to perform your usual and customary duties?
My family and my sister have come to help me out a bit because my husband is unable to solely support our family. They help us financially as well.
Very good. All right. Now, I need to have a little background information on your business and your income. Um, what kind of income did your business produce in the last 2 years before the accident?
My business that I manage grossed $31,366 a year for those 2 years, totaling at about
Was that for the
$60,000.
1 year preceding the accident?
Correct.
And had your business been growing through that time?
Yes. Yes, my business was growing. Word of mouth got around. Deaf clients came with their families because of the convenience of signing with me and explaining the hairstyles they want. It really was expanding.
And since the accident, and I understand that you sold your business since that time, but what sort of income did your business produce until you sold it?
Interpreter, do you mean after the accident?
Well, since the accident happened.
Since the accident, there was a decline or regression because nobody was handing out business cards and marketing the shop anymore. I wasn't there. I was in the hospital. Staffing was tight. I had a couple of friends that helped, but it still regressed. Deaf clients stopped coming because nobody was in the shop that could sign anymore. The friends that came and helped weren't deaf and didn't know sign language, so I lost my deaf clients. In May, I decided to sell the business. I would guess that in that year after the accident, it grossed probably about $20,000 to $25,000.
One of the things that I would want you to do for me is to go back and check your records to see, or to chart for me the development of your income from your business over the years that you were with your family in the family business and after you took it over and ran it on your own. It'll give us some idea of how fast your business grew and what you really have lost in terms of real dollars since this accident. Can you do that for me?
Of course, you mean income tax receipts showing the gross income total since then?
Exactly.
I can show you those.
I
That's
think
fine, okay.
If you could get your income tax records or your returns for the last 5 years, it would help me a great deal.
Okay, will do.
Now, are you seeing a doctor at this time?
Oh yes, of course. I've been more focused on therapy at this time. Initially, I was seeing the doctor more often, and over time, I've seen less of the doctor and done more therapy, specifically therapeutic exercises for my right shoulder, arm, hip, back. I do it 3 times a week.
Since you've been going to the doctor, have you gotten a report from him describing your specific injuries? What did you injure? What part of your body did you injure?
I do have the doctor's reports. I broke my right upper arm, right forearm, right hip, and ruptured a disc in my back.
Okay. Did you get any information at all about the other driver, the driver of the truck that hit you?
Yes. Her name is Kate Merritt. She's 46. She works for Hudson Trucking Company.
Now, think back, if you will, to when the accident occurred. I understand the mechanics of the accident, that this other driver sort of forced you into the retaining wall. But do you remember specifically what you did at the time of the accident inside your car?
I remember my husband driving beside me. I was just watching the road. When I saw the truck coming closer to us, I saw everything happen. The truck approaching, getting closer to us getting closer to the wall. I braced myself for impact against the wall. The truck hit from the left as we crushed into the wall from the right. I ducked my head down while we were pinned between the two.
I see. And at the moment of impact, do you recall if you were thrown to the right or forward at the time?
I ducked my head down and to the left. The door smashed in from the right and pinned me in. The window shattered. The door was jammed into my right side and hip, and glass shards peppered my face, causing it to bleed a bit. My upper body was forced to the left. I remember my husband asking me if I was okay, but I couldn't move. And then EMS workers had to come and jar the door open and get me out.
Did you experience a good deal of pain and discomfort immediately, or was there a period of time that expired before you began to experience discomfort or pain?
Initially, I was in shock, like, what just happened to me? I looked up and realized that the door was smashed into me. I looked to see if my husband was okay. He was in pain too. And then I realized I couldn't move my right arm. So I signed left-handed to my husband that I couldn't move my right arm. And he was like, oh, really? Okay. So he got out and went and got some help while I stayed and waited in the car until they came to help me get out.
So there was not a period of time when you lost consciousness or anything like that?
No, I didn't pass out. Later, the pain started. I felt the throbbing on the spots that I had injured and realized that I couldn't move my right side.
Now, I understand that you're involved in therapy now, is that correct?
Oh, yes, I have to.
What sort of things do they have you doing in therapy?
We do things like swimming, arm movement therapy, submerged in whirlpool, back massages after the whirlpool therapy, then arm exercises, pronation, supination of my right upper arm, flexing and extending my right forearm. They show me how to do some exercises that I can do daily at home and show me some new exercises at the therapy sessions that help with movement. It takes a long time. It's been an ongoing struggle for almost a year now in recovery. I still take pain medication. Sometimes I have good nights and sometimes I have bad nights and need medicine. I have been taking less of it as needed. I don't like to rely on it daily, but sometimes the pain just mandates that I take something.
Is this usually medication that you can get over the counter or prescription medication from your doctor?
Oh, it's prescribed medicine, Tylenol, 3rd grade, which is a stronger form of Tylenol that helps a lot with the pain.
Does the medicine seem to help?
Sometimes.
How about the physical therapy? Does that seem to help?